Hey everybody, I'm Pastor Bill from Open Door Baptist Church in Morehead City, and thanks for coming back for another word of encouragement. These are weekday videos that we're putting out to put our eyes and minds back onto God's Word and to take our attention and focus off of the messaging of the world, the messaging of discouragement and despair and instability that we hear all around us. And so today we are going to look at some encouraging words coming out of the book of First Chronicles. First Chronicles chapter 5, in verse 18, we read, "The sons of Reuben and Gad and half the tribe of Manasseh had 44,760 warriors who could serve in the army, men who carried shield and sword, drew the bow, and were trained for war. They waged war against the Hagrites, Jetur, Naphish, and Nodab. They received help against their enemies because they cried out to God in the battle. And the Hagrites and all their allies were handed over to them. He granted their request because they trusted him. And they captured the Hagrites' livestock, 50,000 of their camels, 250,000 sheep, and 2,000 donkeys, as well as 100,000 people. Many of the Hagrites were killed because it was God's battle. And they lived there in the Hagrites' place until the exile." Now, the point that I wanted to make, and you could hear me stressing it as I read, was really summed up in this idea that this was God's battle. God receives honor and praise and glory when he is seen as the one fighting the battle, when he is the active one, and when the people, his people, look to him in dependence and humbly cry out to him. That's what we saw here. When the people cried out to God, he responded because he would then receive all the glory, and none of the glory would go to his creation. All of the glory would go to him, he himself as the creator. This is also stated in a very subtle way when we read that the battle was trusted to God, and he handed over their enemies to them. You see, they did not go out and grasp. It was not theirs to achieve, but God achieved it, and he handed over the victory to them. It came from outside. It was an external victory won by the omnipotent, powerful, mighty God. I hope that as you are walking through your day, if you are feeling that you are up against opposition, if you are feeling like you have an impossibly large or strong enemy in your life, probably some sin is what I'm thinking, well, cry out to God. Give the battle over to God. He will win the battle. He will give you the victory over that sin. He will hand it to you from outside. And then he will receive all the glory and all the honor.